What are you supposed to do with a miscarriage? 1 before 20 weeks, women are often advised to flush the remains unless they have personal or religious convictions guiding them otherwise. After 20 weeks is typically considered stillborn. In theory, the hospital will handle disposal. Can be anything from biohazard bag to cremation. There's not many rules around how it's handled, and many women experiencing miscarriage are sent home to essentially bleed it out alone with ibuprofen. Go to work because miscarriage and stillbirth aren't always considered eligible for leave. There are so many sharing their stories in the replies to my comment. Miscarriage and stillbirth are so incredibly hard, demonizing and criminalizing the loss is despicable. While I am heartbroken reading every one of them, I also want to thank everyone for sharing. I'm hoping we've shed some light on a serious topic for many people here today. Ooh, this is an awful thing to have to put into words, but literally no one wanted to even discuss my miscarriage with me. My doctor told me that people sometimes bring them in, but basically asked me not to as they won't do any testing unless it's not your first. When I asked what do I do if it happens when I am driving, she said, well, what if you had to go to the bathroom while you were driving? Just get to a bathroom. She convinced me I would only see clotting and nothing else. Had a missed miscarriage, so I was basically waiting for it to happen and knew it was inevitable, and if it didn't happen on its own, it'd need medication or a DNC. I bled for an evening and then woke up the next morning in GT, and it literally fell out of me. Clear as day what it was, and I had to decide what to do with it knowing no one wanted it. Even my own mom talked around me asking where I could possibly bury it, parenthesis, I was living in an apartment. Delty, bottom line, you have a miscarriage and you are on your own, or worse, you are legally in trouble. I'm lucky mine was 10 years ago. 3. Great question. No one talks about this. I don't think the lawmakers have thought about this either. Most miscarriages are disposed of in a toilet or in the trash. We parenthesis women who have had miscarriages don't actively think of it as disposal. Most of them happen in the first trimester and it's not like a birth event. There isn't anything that looks like a baby for most miscarriages. Bones are still forming and are still soft. There is no hard skeleton the way adults have. This makes it hard to tell one clot from another. Was that clot just another clot? Was that an embryo? Or is there a fetus in that clot? Or maybe that's part of the placenta. You're just bleeding, cramping, and passing clots. If you are far enough along, you are passing tissue and unidentifiable fibrous stuff too. This happens over hours and days. You could be bleeding or spotting for weeks, really. Flushing a lot, and you are definitely taking out the garbage because no one wants their house to smell like blood. How much of that are we supposed to collect? Flushing and trash completely normal. About halfway through development, a miscarriage gets called a stillbirth. Naturally, some stillbirths happen at home. And that's a big problem because any woman close to that time is going to get blamed and investigated now. I don't know what you are supposed to do there outside of a medical setting. In a medical setting, the remains would be anything from medical waste to being washed and held by the mother and given funeral services. If you had repeated losses, you might get an autopsy done. The optiosin depend on how far along the fetus is and whether it is passed naturally, induced, or surgically removed.